Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today it's going to be a little bit different, a bit more conversational style, but basically what I wanted to talk about is how I am able to drink all of these coffees at once. Now what I mean by that is I'm not absolutely insane and I don't drink all of these at once, but at any given point I have like roughly around this amount of coffee, different types of coffees. You might note that some of these coffees aren't full, they're like a small bag of beans, there's only a little bit left. And that's just because I've been chipping away at each of them, and that's how I like to do it. I like to just have a variety of different coffees every day. I kind of feel like something different. I want to shape it up. I find sometimes I get a little bit bored if I'm just drinking the same one. And I'm very privileged to have some really good connections and network in the industry, and we have access to really good coffee here in Melbourne, Australia. So I'm very lucky that I have these coffees even available to me. But in saying that, there's a couple of tips and tricks that I find when it comes to doing it this sort of way. And that's what I want to talk about in this video. The first thing that I want to talk about is coffee storage. The way that you store your coffee beans has a huge impact on how fresh they remain. Things like the Airscape, which is an insanely popular product with us at the moment, these are an air displacement method. So essentially you've just got a little plunger insert. So you put your coffee beans in, you plunge out that extra remaining air, and you can store like up to 1 kilo. They advertise 1 kilo, but you can actually store a lot more. So it's maybe closer to 1.5. Sorry if I'm talking really fast. I'm very caffeinated right now. And no, I haven't had all these coffees, but yeah. The other way that you can store coffee is you can use something like this, which is the fellow Atmos. I've had this for a very long time and it's still going great. The original pumping mechanism is mechanical, and that's just what I have available. Since then, they've also released the e-Atmos, which is like an electronic version of this. It's got an electric pump that can actually pump out the air as the vacuum starts to lower. So yeah, that's something like that is really useful. We even sell the lids individually now, so go check that out. Of course, we can't be having this conversation without talking about freezing coffee. So besides these ones, these are all just stored on my bench in their original bag or in a different container. Besides these ones, I've got even more coffees in my freezer. And the reason for that is those are ones that are either more precious to me or they're something that I really enjoy drinking. And I want to save it for another time way down the road. I don't want to have it in the immediate future. I just want to kind of, cool, this is nice coffee, I'm going to store it for later. The way I store that is either in a coffee centrifuge tube, which is like a single dose of coffee, vac seal, which I don't really love because of the environmental impact. You're just wasting a plastic bag. And then the other way is to just literally store it in the original packaging. I don't really love storing it in these paper bags just because they have a higher oxygen through rate barrier compared to something like a plastic bag, which is really not going to let any oxygen through, or a lot less. The second thing I want to talk about is note taking. So when it comes to these coffees, they will progressively, as they age, they progressively change in their slight characteristics and their flavors. So when I'm brewing a coffee, I will slowly change the way that I'm brewing it, whether that means I grind a little bit finer just to extract a bit more, whether I brew a bit hotter because I'm not able to get those same intense flavors as when they were first roasted. Yeah, that's sort of what I mean by that. So taking notes is a really great way to kind of remember where each coffee is. For me, I don't physically take notes, but I mentally make a note of it when I'm brewing it. And what I mean by that is when I'm brewing with this coffee, I'm like, cool, this is probably one of the older coffees that I have on this selection. And I know that it's like washed, it's clean. Don't quote me on that. I hope it's washed. Anyways, it's pretty clean, and I will have to go a lot hotter than what I did before. And the last time I brewed it, it was really sort of at its end. And if you're interested, yes, it is a washed, and it's also roasted on the 20th of the 8th. So a little while back, not too crazy, but yeah. Now the other thing is labeling. So in the Atmos here, I've also got another fellow Atmos just hidden under here. And then the Airscape, I've got a little label of what the coffee is. So it's a little bit hard to see, but this one is from Seven Seeds. And it's a Brazil geisha from Santuario Sul. So yeah, I like to label things. Preferably it has a roast date as well. And that way you could just label the coffee, you know what it is, and you're not wasting anything. You know, there's been times when I haven't labeled coffee. I look at it, I try and brew it, and I'm like, what the hell? What even is this? And it's just old coffee that I don't even know what it is, and it's not enjoyable. It's like, okay, get rid of it or give it to someone. My parents love drinking all my old coffee, but yeah. I know they don't watch these videos, so I can say that. And the last and most important thing that I really want to cover in this video and my way of doing it is managing expectations. So the way that I drink coffee day to day is I value variety over quality. And what I mean by that is I would rather have 5 coffees that are varying in different freshnesses and different forms of their life. I get different stages of their life, I guess you could say, and be able to move through those and try something new each day and kind of work my palate and try different things and not just get fixated on the one coffee throughout. I would rather do that than just be drinking the freshest coffee possible, known to man, always, all the time, forever. Yeah. So if you're watching this and you're interested in this, I think it's more important for you to think about just a little bit harder as to what you value, how you see yourself doing this. And honestly, it might be worth investing in something like a coffee storage canister. If you're going to need to store one large batch of the same coffee, something like this where you can do that easily, that will be great for you. If you're doing something more like this where you've got all the different selections, you can go for like a smaller storage canister or other options as well. But yeah, until you really know what you want to do and what that looks like, I suggest you don't do anything and just think about it. Just have a good think about how you want to approach this. And also be comfortable in changing this as you progress and as you sort of delve into trying different coffees and experimenting. You will change. You'll change what you like, what you enjoy, and how you drink that coffee. But yeah, just a short video talking about coffee and how I drink coffee and what my process looks like. If you want to see more of these videos, let me know because I've got no idea what you guys like. And yeah, until the next video, have a great day, drink something nice, and we'll see you then. Thanks for watching.